Some of you may be new to AMD, and when you think about AMD, I want you to think about one thing. It's all about high-performance computing. Let's start 2020 with the laptop. We will be introducing the best laptop processor ever built. So I'm very happy to say that today at CES, we're going to launch the third generation AMD Ryzen 4000 mobile processors. This is the very first 7-nanometer x86 mobile processor. This is the Ryzen 7 4800U. And what you see is it has 8 Zen 2 cores, 16 threads. It goes up to 4.2 gigahertz. It has 8 Radeon cores based on our Vega architecture, but they actually have 59% more performance than the previous generation. And all of this fits in a 15-watt envelope. So that's an incredible amount of technology in 15 watts. And if you take a look at how we perform versus our competition, 10th generation Ice Lake in 10 nanometer. And what we show is the Ryzen 4000 series is higher on single-threaded performance. It is 90% higher on multi-threaded performance, and it is significantly higher on graphics performance. Now, when you move over to the creator land, think about this, still 15-watt form factor. So whether you're talking about video transcoding, video editing, other large compute tasks, what we're showing is greater than 25%, in some cases close to 50% more performance in these tasks. And what that means is you can get a lot more done in a lot less time. Now, one of the important things, obviously, for the laptop market is battery life. In Ryzen 4000 series, we've really optimized the overall power efficiency of the device. And what you can see is more than double the power efficiency. What you can expect is leading performance with all-day battery life with Ryzen 4000 series. So Lenovo this morning actually launched their Yoga Slim 7. This is the world's thinnest and lightest 8-core laptop. It actually has the flagship Ryzen 7 4800U. It's less than 15 millimeters thick. It has DDR4X. And it has a FreeSync 14-inch full HD displays. Really a beautiful form factor, but it's just an example, if you can imagine, 8 cores and 16 threads in this type of device. In the first quarter of 2020, you'll see over a dozen designs with our Ryzen 4000 series, and you can expect over 100 designs across ultra-thin, gaming, as well as commercial throughout 2020. Now, let's transition over to the graphics market, where we're going to talk a little bit about what we're bringing to the gaming market.
This January, the FreeSync ecosystem is growing to over 1,000 displays. With such an enormous ecosystem, we would like to help customers navigate the retail and e-tail options. To do this, we're showing 3 designations. FreeSync for a tear-free and stutter-free experience, and then AMD FreeSync Premium, which designates support for high refresh monitors at 120 Hz and higher, and also support for LFC, low frame rate compensation. Finally, we have the AMD Premium Pro. This adds HDR support with twice the perceived color volume and depth of SDR. And today, we are excited to welcome the newest member to the 5000 series. The Radeon RX 5600 XT is the ultimate 1080p gaming card. It's built on RDNA, has 36 compute units, a game clock of 1375 megahertz, and a boost clock of 1560 megahertz. It's configured with 6 gigs of GDDR6. As you can see, in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the 5600 is winning by 10%. In Division 2, we're winning by 15%, and Gears of War 5 is just as strong. So if you're a big fan of AAA gaming, at 1080p, you want to play it all maxed out, recent titles and the upcoming titles, the 5600 is a clear winner. Apex Legends, Fortnite, and World of Warcraft, you can see that the 5600 beats the competition. The 5600 will be available January 21st for $279. We are also excited that the 5600 is going to be coming to mobile. In the first half of 2020, we're working with our OEM partners to launch the 5600M and the 5700M to notebook.
For those of us that are gaming and creating on laptops out there, there's just never enough performance that you can give us. So who better than AMD to deliver a processor that gives you uncompromising desktop-class performance, but with mobile-class efficiency? I'd like to introduce you to the Ryzen 7 4800H processor. 8 cores, 16 threads, a higher base clock speed than the 4800U that Lisa spoke to you about. This thing was built for the most demanding content creation and gaming workloads out there. So what's really remarkable about the 4800H is that it's delivering even faster performance than a desktop processor. And it's doing it at 45 watts. Content creation workloads, it gets even better for content creation workloads, 46% uplift. So this is the brand new Asus Zephyrus G14 notebook. Only 3.5 pounds for all of this performance. Over 10 hours of battery life and a sub 18 millimeter Z height. But probably my favorite feature about this product is what you'll see on the backside. You can customize the whole interface. Asus is creating a really cool interface for you to personalize this however you'd like. So make sure to look out for this in February of this year. And today I'd like to show you one of the latest technologies that we've developed across that AAA advantage. It's something that we call Smart Shift. And what we've done is we've created kind of like a virtual super APU, if you will, by bringing the discrete graphics into the equation and shifting the power from the CPU to the GPU so that it overclocks that graphics card when necessary, and then vice versa when CPU-intensive workloads require extra CPU performance. And these are preliminary results, but in the Division 2, in just our early development, we're already getting over 10% performance improvement when you turn on Smart Shift. For content creators, you're also going to see a big uplift in performance with up to 12% faster performance right now in Cinebench. And again, these are just preliminary early results. It's only going to get better from here. You're going to be able to get your hands on Smart Shift, as well as the brand new Ryzen 4000 Series H processors and the Radeon 5600M graphics that Laura spoke to you about in Q2 of this year with this brand new Dell G5 Special Edition laptop.
I have one more product to share today, and for that, let's go back to the world of desktops for a moment. If you start at the bottom of the chart, that's our competition's best. That's what they're offering in the mainstream desktop market today. And when you look at the 3950X, 16-core mainstream CPU, you see over 70% higher multi-threaded performance. That's really, really significant. And then when you go to the third generation Threadripper and you see what we do with the 24-core and the 32-core device, there's just simply no competition. But of course you knew we couldn't stop there. Now, we could push this even further, and why not go above 32 cores? When you can have the technology to do even more, why not? Third gen Ryzen Threadripper 64-core processor, our 3990X, the very first 64-core processor in the desktop form factor. 64 cores, 128 threads, up to 4.3 gigahertz boost, 288 megabytes of cache, all for $39.90, which is exactly what you would expect. I actually need 3 screens to show you what you can do here. So what you're seeing here is a demonstration. We're actually comparing the Ryzen 3990X to 2 Xeon Platinum 8280s. So this is the top of our competition's server stack. But what you'll see, hopefully you'll see, is that the Threadripper 3990X is much faster. You complete the render in 1 hour and 3 minutes. What you will see is that that same workload, if you are doing it on the top of the line server products today, will take 30% more time. And that means 1 hour and 30 minutes. So if you are a content creator who's trying to push the envelope, you will save 30 minutes on a render like this. It might also be just slightly cheaper. Just slightly. With our early 3990Xs, we actually gave a few of them to our partner, Red Camera. So let's hear from the team at Red as to what they can do with Threadripper.
Well, Red, of course, is a camera company. The ultimate goal is to be able to shoot, pull that into your system at full resolution, and just edit. The data footprint of 8K RGB is pretty massive. So we have to develop Red Code Raw. Problem with Red Code is it was very CPU intensive.
The first time I saw the 64-core Threadripper playing back 8K real time and transcoding fast in real time, it blew my mind. The idea of being able to not worry about a workflow because my system can now handle the highest quality footage I can throw at it.
You hear 8K and you're like, yeah, no problem. Next, what else? And we couldn't do that on the CPU until the 64 Threadripper. That's the crazy thing is we will take every single core you give us. Thank you very much. And when we saw the results of the 64 core Threadripper, it was the first time where you felt, oh my God, this is massive.
So look, we are extremely excited to complete our third generation Ryzen Threadripper. And what you'll see is globally, we will have 3990X on shelf February 7th, so just a few weeks away. Our goal will be to continue pushing the envelope in high performance. Have a wonderful CES, and thank you very much for joining us today.